fifth, 2023, at 7 p.m. and we're at the central office. This time, I'm going to ask Board Member Dana Snyder to lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. All right, we have no one signed up for public comment tonight, which brings us to item number 3 on the board, approval minutes of the August 25th special call meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Burns makes a motion to approve.
second.
Wilson seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Brings us to the administrative portion of the meeting. Several items here. Is there any discussion? I just have a question, just for my own educational benefit. The approval of the health nurse to ride the bus. As a school person, wouldn't they be authorized to ride the bus anyway?
I don't think she's a school personnel, is that right, Peggy? Yeah, she's with Maximum
Oh,
Health
she
Service.
works for Maximum Health.
Okay. What's maximum health services? Second question.
Yeah, it's a contracted service that usually the parent contracts via the IEP or through this physician's order for this student, for the parent to have this person.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Any discussion on any of the other items? If not, I'll ask for a motion in a second to approve the administrative items.
So moved.
Wilson,
Second.
Snyder. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's unanimous. Brings us to the finance section of the meeting. Is there any discussion? If not, I'll ask for a motion in a second to approve.
So moved.
Pastori,
I'll second.
Burns. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. It's unanimous. Brings us to the personnel section tonight. And lots of lots of extracurricular after school aides and cooks. Any discussion?
Do these come out of a special fund? The salaries for these extracurricular personnel?
Most of these after school and items, things of that nature come out of the ERSA funding, but
Okay.
to address learning loss.
So it's not out of our county funds, it's out of an extra fund that they have for.
That's correct.
Okay,
What's
Thank
the
you.
involved- What's the secretary acknowledge position?
That was where we were gonna have a halftime finance and halftime for personnel.
It's the position they're.
Yeah,
Basically.
So we're gonna repost that as executive, since they're gonna be under a director.
okay.
So
We're not going to do that now.
we are, but we gotta change the title to executive secretary.
It's from central office secretary to executive secretary.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to remark on the previous one about Kim Browning retiring. She has served many years in the school system and done a great job every year. She worked for me, I think, when I was a Guy Valley. Just a quality person. I understand she's retiring, but she's actually going to come back and work for a while as well. So, I just want to note those good people that we've had.
And I'd like to talk to you about Joanna Elkins. She's one of the best, and I hate to see her go. We've begged her to stay so many years and she stayed. But I think we're gonna have a hard time filling that one.
Yeah, amen to that.
Yeah,
Is she gonna come back and, work in that
She
position?
said she would for a little bit.
Yeah, just she doesn't want it long term.
Those are hard positions to fill.
Yes, they
Uh,
are.
She's a hard act to follow.
Yes, she is.
Okay, with that, no other discussion. I'll ask for a motion and a second to approve the personnel items.
So moved.
I'll second.
Who moved?
Dana,
Snyder makes the motion, Burns seconds. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Any opposed? And none, it's unanimous. Before we go into executive session, we'll skip down to the comments and concerns. We have the Duval update on our agenda all the time.
All right, I talked to him today, actually. He said that they're just about finished with, the redesign and that they would have us a demolition package and ad ready to go out in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Frank, are they coming back here to share with the board the new redesign?
Yes.
They're okay with that.
Yes.
I can't tell you how pleased I am to be able to say we're going
We're gonna
to
start.
have some action, possibly. We're going to bid that out in 2 weeks' time.
He's gonna get with Austin about some potential dates. That's what he said to me today.
That's, that doesn't mean it's gonna come in under bids, but,
But it'll be soon.
that's a step, that's progress.
Yeah.
I know those Duval
Yes.
people are, they've been very patient so far, but we're into the third year now. And, I don't blame them for feeling a little antsy about the project, but nobody wants it as bad as we do. So that's great. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
I want you to share with the board, about our homeschooling situation and the progress that is made, what's done to get that.
Well, when Mr. Davis and I took over, we talked about the huge amount of homeschoolers that we had and you know, that were leaving our county for one reason or another. So we sat down and drafted a letter and sent to every student who was homeschooling, asking them, A, why they left, B, if they would be interested in coming back, and what we could do to help to expedite that. And we've had to date, and I'm sure that I think this number will increase. We've had, what was it?
I believe it's 39 homeschool kids that have returned, and then we've had, also,
We've had eight.
returned to actual, in the physical buildings, and then we had another, 11 come
went
to
virtual
our
school,
virtual school.
which still
About
counts
50
as Lincoln
students.
County students.
Okay.
That's
great.
That's fantastic.
That's,
50 new kids. Yes, it
50.
is.
That's in excess of $500,000 that we, have put back into the school system in Lincoln County by getting our students back. So
And it's a good place for them to be with their fellow students and an excellent staff at the school.
So we're taking some other options, you know, when parents come in and want to express to us about homeschooling, we try to lay out all the other options for them. As a matter of fact, we had one today that come in and was intent on homeschooling, and by the time she left here, she was satisfied and she had signed her student up for, our virtual school. So that's a way of keeping them in the county. And, you know, this young lady did have some health issues and I understand because she was going to be chronically absent. So we also gave her another option, actually a chronically absent form to have her physician fill out so that should the semester come and the young lady starts feeling better and wants to come back to school, then there's no time missed. She's right back in.
that's great. That's positive.
Yeah.
That's a positive step. I can't tell you how pleased and proud I am of you two working on that. Any other comments or concerns? from the
Yeah,
board?
I do. I had a neighbor tell me that their child was going back to WVU this week after the holiday, and they told her that they may have a mask mandate when she gets back before she left to come back. So I don't want to be on reactionary side. I want to be on the action side. And I think that our board should make a policy and put it on the next meeting to discuss, that it is up to the parent if they want their child to wear a mask to school. And if they don't, the child will not be forced by anyone to wear a mask while they're in Lake County schools. I think the child should wear a mask if they're contagious, if they have a fever, if the doctor has said, you've got COVID, yeah, that child absolutely should, or they ought to stay at home, one or the other. But I think we need to trust our parents in the matter of that. And I think the only way to do that is get ahead of the state mandate and make our own county policy. So that's just my 2 cents.
So I agree with that, Jody, but I have said I'm against mandates, period.
Then we need to make a policy.
I think parents need to be the final judge of what's best for their
It's their
children.
children.
And, of course, we
They're in our care, but it's their children ultimately.
want to encourage sick kids to stay home.
Right.
Healthy ones to come to school and,
Yeah.
go on from there. So I don't know what you all have to do to check what policy we've got. I'm sure we have one somewhere, but, that would be a good thing to have and be able to discuss at our next meeting. And while we're doing that, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jody. We said at the last meeting that we need to have work meetings to look over our policies. Well, it seems to be that Friday mornings are the best time for most of us. And, obviously this Friday's out with the School Board Association meetings Friday and Saturday. Want to remind everybody of that. But the following 2 Fridays at 9:30,
9:30, yeah, 9:30.
9:30, the next 2 Fridays. So I'm sure Robin will put that on her
Robin has. some
magic
time.
agenda and she'll get all that stuff legal for us.
So we're
And,
looking
we can
at 22nd.
start working.
22nd and 29th, David?
Uh,
The
You're
20,
on the 29th, right?
okay.
I'm gone.
Is it 22nd? Are we that far into this?
Yes.
Flies right when you're.
Well, you got
Nice.
15.
The 15th.
That would
that's
be-
coming
This
right
Friday's
up.
the 9th, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at 16th and the 23rd.
That's Saturday.
Yeah,
15th.
16th and 22nd.
I can do 15.
15th and 22nd.
It's the 15th.
Yeah, let's do those 2.
Now, the 22nd, I'm at the WBASA, but Mr. Davis will be here.
Okay.
15th and 22nd, right?
And
9:30.
of course,
I would encourage everyone to bring
Something.
your book, with you and have it highlighted. I've spent a lot of hours highlighting my.
I'm gonna give you.
we
mine.
also probably would need the expertise of some of your staff, Mr. Barnett, if we're going to be discussing instruction. We need your instructional person here. I don't know what policies you're going to put on us to discuss for those meetings, but
We
Probably in my mind, I'm thinking anything that hasn't been updated since 2017.
Oh, boy.
Okay, most of it 2000.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bring the book.
yeah, we'd actually like to look at all of them at one point or another. And
You want to just separate it by category? So,
Probably
yeah,
would be
I think
best.
so. I think.
Yeah, it probably would be
Uh,
best.
I know we have a grading policy that we kind of postponed passing this spring because I was lobbying for a particular thing on there to be able to put the students' instructional level on the report card where they're at, so the parents would know that when they got that C,
What level it was.
that they were actually maybe behind. And so that bears some discussion.
Yes, it does.
Don't want to impose my will on anybody, but I'd like to be able to discuss that. And there's another one that's gonna come to my mind, but we'll,
The publishing of test scores,
yeah, that was,
that's one. we need to-
and
by name.
Well, we'll discuss that.
Oh,
Also, we're gonna have some good news coming out of Lincoln County Schools, that our schools are knocking out the ballpark. Some of them, so. It's doing a great job.
good.
And I know that I don't think we've done it yet, but we are required by the state to have a policy on school newspapers. That was, passed this year. And I think we were required to have it by the beginning of the school term. I don't recall us doing
No, we
that,
haven't.
but, I had advised the last administration to see what the state was doing and follow the state's lead on that. But,
And maybe get a copy to all of us to read before we meet,
yeah.
would
Yeah.
be good.
Any other discussion? So we have work meetings on the 16th,
15th and 22nd,
15th, and 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay,
starting at 9:30.
all right. That brings us to a request for executive session to discuss personnel matters. Do I have a motion
to go
in
into
a second?
Sessions to.
The Story makes the motion.
I second.
And Wilson seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Alright.
Any opposed? None, and the time is 7:16. All right, we'll end this session and go into regular executive session. So Mr. Cremings, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir.
I can get these apart.
Put them little fingers in there.
I think there's two of them. You can share it with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen to him, how many?
You didn't get one. I need one more.
No, I didn't
There's
get
one
two, I
down,
just
just one.
got one.
Or somebody's got two.
Well, I don't believe I
I-
did, but maybe I did.
I thought there were two of them. And right there it is. There's two of them.
Well, I could not, I was just. Just keep.
He said she didn't like to share.
Trying to
She-
keep-
No, look, I was trying to just keep him from fussing.
All right. I was asked, to present about a little bit of an issue we're having. We're gonna have to face it one way or another, or see what happens from there. So it's the Ranger, as you can see, it is the sewer plant up there. We replaced, our last two sewer plants we replaced with Midway and Duval. And you can see in the pictures that the Ranger Elementary, sewer plant is pretty dilapidated. So, the two that we replaced was at a combined cost of $735,000 for Midway and Duval. And I anticipate this one, if you replace the complete sewer plant as is, it's a little bit smaller in those, but I still think with the inflation, you're still looking at $350,000, $400,000 to put a new sewer plant at Ranger. So we wanted to make sure that was something that we have to budget for or need to look at in the toward the end of the year. Now, DEP, every year, all sewer plants go through a DEP comes out and they monitor and look at it. So the Ranger one, even before I made this position, it has been considered that, Ranger could potentially have a shortened life of the school. It may make it until, we can make it to a closure. Not to say that's the reason why. There's options out there, what we can do. But something's got to be done here if we maintain this facility and keep it up and keep it going.
For at least another year. I mean, are you
Correct.
saying it can't even go if we don't do something?
It's according to how the DEP looks at it. Because if there is a DEP report I got, probably didn't attach it to this one. And it just talks about Kimron is a company that comes out every week and monitors all our sewer plants, and they treat them and make sure they're all up to date and everything. So as far as every week, it's required by DEP, they come out every week. So when they do that, Kimron also keeps us informed of the condition, and they have let us know that, we're,
Pretty
I don't
bad.
want to say running on borrowed time, but now, not to say that this sewer plant, as much as rust you see there and dilapidated it looks, cannot be upgraded potentially. They can come out, they can dig out the dirt all the way around it, and if the dirt is not rusted, if it's not rusted out below ground level stuff, you can potentially weld new metal on there and put new grading on there, but that's a fee also to get that done.
Would that be in the $350,000 pack?
That would be a complete new,
Okay, a complete
it's
new.
complete
that's
new
that.
if you go the long way.
What do you think it would be
Here's
for
the
the,
question. Oh, I'm sorry.
oh, what would you kind of think it would be to just upgrade it to be?
You know, it could be as little as $25,000, or it could be as much as, you know, 50 or more $1,000. So it's far less
Yeah.
than replacement.
Yes.
It just depends on, you gotta get them in there, they gotta look at it, and then they can give you an evaluation, because I talked to a company today that said they would evaluate it and give us an idea of, what we're looking at.
You know,
Could I ask you about the downtime?
That would have to be a summertime project. So if we're gonna do anything, as of right now, it is still treating the, you know, the septic water and everything, all the water's coming. It is still discharging to the Guyandot River. We're not in violation of, of any type of, chemicals or anything concerns like that, the flowage out of it. So it is just the condition of it is what we're looking at. So
And we'd have to wait till the end of school anyway, but we need to make some decisions on it.
we need to move way before that.
No.
Yeah, it's almost like building a Duval school. Not quite as much. It'll take years, but it would take a while to get all the
Could
estimates
you
and
get it
everything.
done in the summer for them to?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it can be done. It can be done. And those are that's just something that we're looking at. There may be other options out there on the table. I've talked to TR Davis, one of the septic companies. There's some other options out there, but still it all comes with a price tag. And we would, if we're looking to continue with this, we will definitely need to look at least getting this grading and stuff upgraded. So that's just kind of where we're at. We just want to get you, make sure you're aware of what we're looking at up there. What we have been looking at for 2-3 years or more, even when Mr. Gosney was here. Mr. Gosney is the one that probably initially told the DEP that, we don't know how many years the school's got left, and they allow it to run. But now the guy from Cimarron, he goes in there, he has to latch onto the fence so he don't fall in. That's technically, you know what I mean, so they won't take liability.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. So
Is this totally fenced off well?
it is totally fenced off. Yeah, and it's locked with a county lock and Cimarron's lock.
The
So,
roof on this building,
There's no roof.
the roof on the school.
okay, so I don't know the exact year, because in another report, it says that the roof and the windows were replaced recently, is how it says in in one of the findings. So they came in and the air quality team from Charleston State Department, they come in, they look at the whole condition of the building. The roof, it just says has been recently replaced. Now, I don't
When was
remember.
that memo could have been 10 years ago when recently.
Well, it actually was, this right here came out in I wish I knew, I didn't know I was gonna get asked these, but I'm pretty sure this came out right around 2020 or 2021, somewhere in that
We'll
neighborhood.
need that date on that roof.
It is, okay.
When it was last fixed.
Okay, so I will get that up for you. They said, it just says that the windows and the roof is up to date.
And in addition to the date, we'll probably need to know when it was done, how much of a bond was on it, how long it was supposed to last, 10 years, 20 years.
Right.
whatever.
Right. I did get a report on a lot of our roofs, and that one wasn't on the record of where, Carlisle's is a company that does a lot of roofing, and he gave me all the roofs in Lincoln County that had been done by Carlisle and what their warranties were and stuff. And we only have 2 buildings that's currently under warranty right now. So,
I got a question. It's like, Mr. Barnett, if Kimball would come in and say, this is not a safe place for kids, do we have a plan in place
We do,
with those kids?
we do.
something we've been looking at.
Yeah, we've been
working
looking
on.
at since, beginning of the year.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Mr. Cornelius?
Make a motion that we go into executive session.
Okay, we had a motion And a second,
Thank you, Senator, for me.
enter into executive session. And all those in favor have voted 5-0 to do that. And at this time, we'll adjourn this meeting and go into executive.